Jodi Kantor is a CBS News contributor, and she's also a New York Times correspondent and joins me now. Thanks a lot for joining us, Jodi. So it was, your colleagues who helped to break this story, but surely, Fox News, even before it was printed in the paper, knew that something was coming. If they didn't know that, an article was coming, they saw the fallout after Roger Ailes, and they would have known that, hey, if this information gets out, it's not going to be good. Why do you think it took them so long, and why do you think they're choosing to let him go now?
Well, first of all, I think my colleagues did go to Fox with these accusations. They never would have run the article without checking them and getting their responses. To me, the most significant fact about the timing is that women have continued to come forward. Even as recently as yesterday, a woman went on the record to say Bill OReilly had asked her to show more cleavage in the makeup room. He had asked to sleep with her. And so there was this steady stream of women, and it may not have ended. There may be more to come.
Right. So now Bill OReilly, their big star, is out. Roger Ailes, who ran the place, is out for the exact same thing. But I started to wonder about the culture in that workplace and whether or not getting rid of two powerful men is really going to be enough.
Well, these are two hugely powerful men, more than any. I mean, these are the two leading figures who kind of made Fox News what it is and had a giant effect on the country's political landscape. I do think that's a really fair question, though. It's more of a question for the people at Fox. They committed, they made a big show last summer of saying, we're going to change this company's culture. It's going to be different now.
We've got a hotline.
And yet we see that they continued to hide what really happened for months afterwards until the Times investigated.
What do you make of Bill OReilly's response, which was essentially, this is the sort of thing that happens when you're a high-profile man, you are targeted. I'm paraphrasing.
Casting himself as the victim has been a pretty consistent line from him. But what's also remarkable is the protests that took place over this. Women were standing outside of the Fox headquarters holding devastating signs. Some of them had Bill OReilly's face on the signs, and it said sexual predator. That is a tough phrase for a leading media personality.
I know he was a big moneymaker for Fox, and that, advertisers had started to jump ship from the show, but not necessarily from the cable channel. But I wonder if you think that anything else may have contributed to him being let go. He, there certainly said some inflammatory things. Part of his brand was to upset a lot of people. He upset women, he upset minorities with some of the things that he said on his show. I'm wondering if you think the money, the type of character that he was on television, if all of that contributed to Fox News deciding to cut ties.
He was hugely successful, and one of the ironies of this story is that his ratings actually rose after the New York Times broke the news of these harassment claims over the years that had been hidden. So I don't think the problem was the viewership. I think the question was, what did it mean for the Fox brand? Remember that the sort of premise of his show is that he's a kind of moral arbiter, right? And that he questions other people about whether they're doing the right thing. Was that really tenable anymore?
Right. That very good question. So where does Fox News go from here, though? They've lost their #1 big star. Megyn Kelly is out as well, and they seem to be shifting their talent around. But moving forward, do you think they can retain the type of success that they built over the last several years?
And who do they want to be? Do they want to create a new Bill OReilly who's basically going to say the same things, just in sort of a new body with a new face? Or are they trying to actually sort of update the network and send a somewhat different message?
Right. I guess we will see.
We will see.
Jodi Kantor, thank you very much.
Thank you.